Joel Murray, and this is my assessment number 1 for KPB220 Factual Screen. The film that I've chosen to analyse is Drive-In Jesus by Lauren DeFilippo. She's a Brooklyn-based producer and also director. She has produced shorts that have been broadcast right around the world and even been named Best New Emerging Talent. The background of the film is that it is set on the Daytona Beach Christian Drive-In Church. Now, it was founded in 1953, and what she thought she was going to be filming was a very strange concept where people are not interacting with each other, opposite to what we normally go to church for, where we're going to a congregation with people with similar beliefs and we actually make friends and interact with each other. Drive-in church doesn't really feed into that. What she found, though, was that people were all there for their own reasons. They were there because they had illnesses or debilitating diseases, that they wanted to go with their pets, or they just lost a loved one and wanted to go and mourn by themselves. What she found was what this film is the observational mode. As Nichols states, the observational is poetic in the approach, and the voice is characterised by the allowance of the audience to make up their own mind. The soundtrack is diegetic. We hear the car noises, we hear the pastor giving the sermon, and that is exactly what is linked to the pictures, with people nodding with this pastor and his words, and also they would be hearing that through the speakers in their vehicles. There was no other voiceover other than that, and there was no abstract symbols or anything abstract inside the film. It was all very real life, and that we found that the cuts were very short, different angles from the cameras all the time. Why is it observational mode? It's watching people. So most of this documentary, there's only one incident when it's not, it's just watching these people and observing them in their natural, what they would normally do when they go to the drive-in church. As Nicole outlines, there's time continuity in the observational mode. So with this, we do have a beginning, a middle and an end. Beginning, the cars drive in. Middle, the pastor's giving the sermon. And the end, the cars toot their horns and they get out of there. However, this was filmed over 3 days, so there is a little bit of gaps with continuity. There is some different cars in different shots. So you do know that something is not quite right when you are viewing this short documentary. However, when the sermon is going, people are nodding with it and interacting. When he says to eat the bread, they are eating their bread. Now, with this film, there is lots of symbolism in there, so you're able to see lots of signs, and you are then bringing your knowledge as a viewer in and interacting with the film and getting your own inferences. That directly links this with the observational mode. And as we said before, no abstract components have been added into the film. It's all what you would see, different angles and different shots around. Now, even without the on-screen appearance of the director, we know that this is an edited film and that it is being observed. In this image right here, you can see the lady looking directly at the camera. Why did DeFilippo leave that in there? Was it to tell us, yes, they are acting a little bit different? There are cameras around, and is it to remind us that technology is there as well and she is interacting with these people? So Thompson states there's still that to show the truth, and that's how we measure these films. We know that it hasn't all been cut out. It actually is real. Now, the Drive-In Jesus has an element of surveillance in it. So we're watching people through the back of their cars. They're in silhouette sometimes. We're looking at them from the side angles where you can see a gentleman with a cat on his head. Also front angles of the cars as well. So there's quite a lot, which shows some different angles and gives you a little bit of observedness. I found it comical myself. DeFilippo said for her, though, Drive-In church represents a microcosm of society, which we all struggle with every day, trying to connect with one another and with our environment, despite our increasing technology-fueled isolation. Just like my feelings about her home state, this film is a push-pull between the seeming absurdity on the surface and the humanity that lies beneath. So this being no different to people on Facebook and everything else. And of course the Sunday sermon on day number 3 of her filming is what she chose to use as the voiceover. The style, De Filippo said that she went right around the world and she had different feedback as she took it around to different festivals. Some people linking it and are even saying to her, do you normally edit comedies? It does have an observed appearance from the outside until you dig a little bit deeper and really reflect on what is actually going on and knowing that they are there motivated for their different reasons. By just observing, you don't know why they are there, and that does make this a little bit absurd and comical